What is up, everybody? It's your brother Legend coming at you with Molly, and we are here at Dollywood, the wonderful park here in the Smoky Mountains. I'm going to show you around, give you a little tour and review of the park, show you the rides, the food, the gift shops, the weird stuff, the little places, everything that makes us like Dollywood, and let's go. So now here by Fire Chaser Express, the park's how I like to describe the modern mine train style of roller coaster. Super fun ride. This is a ride that was both new to us. Last time we went to the park was about 2013. So there was a couple of rides that were new to us. This was one of them. And I really enjoyed this. It was so much fun, a very smooth ride. It looks great. You've got some of the stuff left over from the old ropes course attraction that was over here, like these towers and the waterfall and things like that. But having them there adds to the theming and stuff like that. Also, it's got a great show scene up there when you go from forwards to backwards with a bunch of pyro and special effects. And it ends up being a really fun ride, especially for kids and families. We went on a couple times. You know, for the best view, ride in the front. For the best view of these show scenes, ride in the back. And overall, really fun ride. A great ride for Dollywood, I would say, because you are in a very much a big-time family park. And I enjoyed it. I actually think it's probably my favorite roller coaster in the park, just because it is so unique. It's so different. It's got the theming and show elements. It doesn't kind of bang you around like a Mystery Mine does. So it's overall, it's a fun ride. So to me, one of the more hidden gems here at Dollywood is Tennessee Tornado. It is an arrow looping roller coaster, and I know what you're thinking, arrow looping roller coasters. I've been on Great American Scream Machine and Great Adventure, and I've been on Ninja or at Magic Mountain, and I've been on arrow loopers. Legend, they're terrible. Why are you telling me to go on an arrow looper? Well, this one is actually good. It's different, it's smooth, and it's got a great first drop. It's completely in the dark, and it's smooth is probably the best thing. When you come out of the first drop there and go into this giant loop, it's got to be well over 100 feet tall. And it's really off in the corner of the park. Really fun ride. I'm getting attacked by a bee, so that's enough about this ride. Now hanging out over here by Wild Eagle, which has this incredible sculpture-y statue thing out in front. And their big, giant arts and crafts style station. One of the biggest stations I've ever seen for a roller coaster. And let's go take a look at a ride from a different angle. So over here we got a better view of Wild Eagle. Not my favorite coaster in the park. It's very tame. I think Mom and Dad especially a lot of people get on B&M for being kind of dull or tame. It is a wing coaster, which you don't see a lot of places, but it's it's not overly fast or intense or anything like that. I will say that one really good thing about Wild Eagle is you do get that sense of soaring as it was intended to, and you get some spectacular views because this roller coaster was built on top of the hill, so you really get great views of the Smoky Mountains. Just not quite as wild or intense as I normally like my roller coasters to be, but not a complete loss either. So now hanging out in my Daredevil Falls, which is the park's log flume ride, which is it's a very one of the prettiest looking log flume rides out there. Doesn't get you very wet. It's not overly themed. Like I would love for this to be something along the lines of a Splash Mountain or a Timber Mountain log ride in Osprey Farm, and it's really not. It's really just this little theming you see around here is essentially what theming is on the ride. But log flumes are fun, and this one doesn't get you soaked because I'm not a fan of rides that get you soaked. It's got a great element with the show water there, and still a fun ride. So the first of the big roller coasters here at Dollywood, and currently the only operating roller coaster here at Dollywood, is Thunderhead, built by the guys at Great Coasters International. It's a really fun ride, a big drop, it's set in the woods, in the hills, and a really fun ride. It's fast, it's smooth, it's really nice. Exactly what you expect from the guys over at Great Coasters. Also, right next to Thunderhead, you actually have this great little well-themed, again, keeping in mind with the logger theme, a great little playground area. Now, Dollywood doesn't feature a whole lot of dedicated kids rides, but one of them over here is Lumberjack Lifts. A simple ride. You pull yourself up, and then you drop on down. And it's very neat for kids. Also surrounded by a couple major roller coasters with Mystery Mine and Thunderhead. It's nice to have a ride for kids to do here too. So one of my favorite rides here at Dollywood is Mystery Mine, a highly themed Gerstlauer Eurofighter ride, and it's cool. It's also very, very a pretty looking ride, you know. It's a giant sets and massive artwork and a big old tower that's not themed to Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's a really, really fun ride. We'll say it does beat you up a little bit. There is a little bit of headbanging as comes from some of these rides, but really cool elements, great theme, and all the effects were working today too. You know, the ride just did a lot of effects, and they were all functioning today, so that's always a good sign. Wild ride, Molly. Today was your first time on this. What do you think of this one?
It was rough, but overall I enjoyed it. It was very, very different.
There we go. Also, it looks great at night. We're not here at night yet, but great lighting package on this ride. So this is one thing that's very cool that Dollywood has. They have a zip line course that it goes throughout the middle of the park with like multiple zips on it, and it's really, really neat. You know, a lot of parks for an upcharge attraction will do like a sky coaster or a slingshot. This park they don't have that. They've got Sky Zip instead. In case you were curious, Sky Zip is $39, so definitely bring some money if you want to do Sky Zip. Does look fun though. Now, a big fan favorite here at Dollywood is the Dollywood Express. Their big, giant steam locomotive. The real big, giant, fancy-looking train. Old school, cold train, real deal. Very big train. Takes you on a long ride up into the mountains and the hills and things like that. A lot of people love this. As you can see, it's a completely full ride. I'm actually not a big fan of the train. I kind of find it as a boring ride. You don't see a lot of cool stuff. And last time we were on, since it is a big giant coal train, and you know it's got soot on it, it ruined all these jackets because you get covered in soot. And so Dollywood Express is not my favorite. Watch your clothes. But if you like trains, it might be for you. Floating on by is the Smokey Mountain Rampage, the River Rapids ride here at Dollywood, which is kind of towards the front of the park, with some big geysers going off behind me. Something I've never been on because I'm not a big fan of river raft rides that get you soaking wet, and I'm not sure if this one does or it does not, but I've got the $600 in-a-loop camera on me, and I cannot be risking that for the Smokey Mountain Rampage. If you've been on it before, let me know. Good, bad, somewhere in the middle, give me a yell. Hey guys, we're now over here in the County Fair section of Dollywood. Home to kind of a bunch of flat rides. If you're a super theme park nerd like I am, you tend to think of this as Zamperla Land. You know, you got the Dizzy Disc, which is a disco. You've got the Aviator ride over here. You've got other fun stuff like, you know, your Dumbo Flying Elephants ride, teacups. There's a scrambler, bumper cars, a swing, a Ferris wheel, all sorts of stuff over here. Also a couple of kids rides. And if you have little kids, it's probably a good section of the park to come to because they do feature a lot of rides, especially rides for the family and for the kids. For me, it's actually my least favorite part of Dollywood over here just because it feels very generic, like stuff you could see at any theme park anywhere, and it's not special. So this is probably my least favorite part of the park, but there is a lot of rides over here and games if you're into Midway games, but for me, County Fair is definitely my least favorite part of the park. So as I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of the County Fair section of the park, but the one thing I do like, they have an old-timey Ferris wheel. Not a lot of parks have this style of Ferris wheel. Obviously, capacity is a big issue, but I think they're really, really neat rides. So that's the one part of County Fair I do actually tend to enjoy, is their old-timey Ferris wheel. Fun stuff there. Good news for all you roller coaster credit whores out there. The park's home to a kiddie coaster here in County Fair, the Sideshow Spin roller coaster, and adults can ride whether or not they have kids. So if you're a coaster credit whore, not saying anything bad, I've got the credit, but if you are, there's one for you. Used to be themed to VeggieTales, now it's not themed to VeggieTales anymore. Now, here at In the Loop, especially me with the Legend, I love adorable kids rides, and this part of the park, they have a lot of adorable kids rides. This is all the way in the corner of County Fair, and they actually have 3 of them. The first one over here features pigs going around a scarecrow, and then over here they've got ducks. Look at these little tiny ducks, look how cute this is. This is just extremely adorable, very, very cute. Little ducky ride, and then last but not least, not quite as neat, because it's something you'll see more at other places, but they got bees. Anyway, very cute section of the park over here. Also, they're kind of the only kids rides in the park. Lumberjack lifts, and these three, I believe, are the only kids rides in the whole park. So if you got little kids, definitely take them over here. All right, guys, we're now at one of my favorite rides at Dollywood. For me, this is a top 3 ride here at Dollywood, and this is the Mountain Slide Winder. A ride which is referred to as, I think, a water boggin, and it's awesome. It's a giant log flume meets water slide where you and a bunch of your buddies go down a raft, and it is so much fun. It also involves the terrain of the mountain, just like the modern day mountain coasters or alpine slides. It uses the terrain, so you walk all the way up the mountain, and then you go down on a big giant water slide type thing. I want to get some people coming through because this is so unique, and I love unique things at theme parks. And Mountain Slide Winder is just that. And here we go, we got some people hopefully coming through soon. There you go. And the more you weigh, the faster you go. And they do weigh you at the top. And it's just a ton of fun. Also, check out the very unique slide things that you ride in. Great ride. Highly recommend Mountain Slide Winder. Also, guys, I wanted to point this out to you because it is such a unique ride. Check out this wacky system of conveyors they have to take these things back up to the top. You know, multi-level, and they're not really, I don't think they're latched on anywhere. They just sort of go. So these things, if they were not balanced properly, they could just flop off on one side. Again, I love unique. This is unique. And there come 2 more people coming down. Easily the absolute cutest ride here at Dollywood is the River Battle. It's just absolutely adorable, filled with very cartoony woodland creatures. You get a gun, people on the side get guns, so you get soaked. You want to get soaked, and it just, I love the details from the cartoon fish to the cartoon beavers and things like that. It's super, super adorable. I would probably talk a little bit more about this, but I can't film anymore, else I'm going to get soaked and destroy this very expensive in-the-loop camera. So that's all for River Battle. Hey guys, look what's that way.
Lightning rod.
All right, guys, time to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Lightning Rod. Dollywood's new for 2016 troublesome wooden roller coaster, and here it is in all of its glory, of non-opening glory. And it is very disappointing. I will say that. You know, it's a ride that's been very, very troubled. It opened like 3 or 4 months late. It operated for like a week or 2, and then it got shut down with a recall, and then it opened back up, and now it's been closed for another 3 weeks as we record this on July 28th. So it's really disappointing. I mean, we booked this trip because this ride was here, and you know, it's a bit of a bummer. It really, really is, because the ride looks amazing, super fantastic. I mean, I was going in expecting this to be one of the top wooden roller coasters in the entire world. The launch, the lift, and I will say there's been like no activity over here, so the ride seems pretty dead. On the plus side, the section of the park is home to these adorable cars. They're still here, they're open, they work. Get some sweet pictures in these things. And guys, here we are. This is unfortunately the closest we'll be getting to riding Lightning Rod today. And that's Molly in the test seat. Also kind of interesting, they have 2 different mixed messages. One over here that says, the old one that said, due to extended ride conditioning, the roller coaster will not be operating today. And then here on the side, it says, Lightning Rod is now in technical rehearsal, might be closer. But all we're getting test seat and nothing else. Hey guys, guess what? It's open! It's open! Yes! High Octane Gift is open! And this will be obviously the Dollywood's merch store for Lightning Rod, the currently closed ride. And let me tell you guys, the merchandise game, very strong on this ride. So many t-shirts, so much stuff. For a ride that unfortunately does not work, but check some of this stuff out. I mean, tons and tons of different t-shirts, and I'm a metal sign guy, so stuff like that. Check out another sign over here, fitting in with the garage theme. So the merch game, very, very strong for this ride that is not currently operating. Little girls' shirts, Lightning Rod tumbler kind of things, shot glasses, pint glasses, all sorts of stuff. You got more garage themed stuff over here. You do tend to get into Ford country and a little bit of not Lightning Rod specific stuff too. But I mean, there's just so much merch. Some of it, a lot of it is really, really good. You know, you got the like faux license plates and hot rod drives. You got some really cool magnets, like this guy. That's a solid magnet. Keychains. If you need leather gloves for some reason. these will probably be very popular. This is, you know, like a mechanic style shirt for Lightning Rod, very similar to what the employees wear. And just a lot of stuff. They have an incredible amount of merchandise for this rack. I'm actually kind of surprised the merchandise store is open. Because the rod's not open, and we were in here earlier just for nerds, and we like to Google this kind of stuff, and we talked to the guys, and like, oh, no, nobody's bought anything all day. What is this? It's like a light up turbis kind of cup. That's cool. All right, let's see. And if you guys are curious, Legend, are you so much of a mark that you're going to buy something for a roller coaster that's not open? Yes, I am, because I love this metal sign here. I'm gonna buy this. It's $15, and I'm gonna buy it. It's got to go on my wall. Cause I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get back here is. And a lot of times, if you don't go to ride opening year in the first couple of years, a lot of the merchandise is not there. Like if I was gonna buy a shirt, that's my favorite shirt here. But I'm not gonna buy a shirt for a ride that's not open. I'm only gonna buy a little slime. Try and figure out the logic there. Cause I can't explain it to you, but that's my thought process. Also, if you need lightning rod, gummy bears. They got them. That's the thing. You can get those. Also, stuff in that over here, we got more shot glasses, more tumblers, all sorts of stuff. Ladies' clothes. I mean, just an incredible amount of merchandise for this thing. Really, really cool stuff. And over here too, I like this stuff. Like, every time I saw this, I thought like, oh my gosh, is that a bottle opener? No, it's a wrench magnet. But again, merchandise here at the Lightning Rod store. Very, very cool. Lightning Rod may not be open, but Lightning Rod Plinko, it's open for business. And you could win this gigantic pillow. That thing is, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Lightning Rod may not be open, but you can win a badass Lightning Rod Mohawk sunglasses wearing bear. Or a commemorative ball? Oh, you got enough of the Lightning Rod stuff over here. Lightning Rod basketballs. To me, the show to see while you're here at Dollywood is Dreamland Drive-In. Here in the 50s section of the park at the Pines Theater. It's a really long show, a 50s based show. A really, really good show. Long show, about an hour long. You air conditioning in a nice theater with a snack bar and everything. Really enjoyed it. Classic, you know, very much classic theme parky Americana kind of show. But very well done, you know, good actors. Now, I had a lot of fun. Molly, your thoughts? Not quite the same.
I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. I found it was kind of depressing. That time.
Yeah, things going, all the things closing away.
Yeah.
But for me, definitely go see it. Big thumbs up. You got to see that show if you come here. Hey guys, after all, this is Dollywood, and this is like very much the Dolly section of the park here. A couple of different things over here. You have the Dream Song Theater, which is home to the My People show. Not running today, so we didn't get to see that. Never seen that show. Last time I was here, this was actually a motion simulator theater, so I've never actually seen the My People show. I'm not really a Dolly Parton fan, I would say. I'm not a country music fan. But this is actually really cool. They have a giant museum here called the Chasing Rainbows Museum, and it's actually really, really neat. It's well themed and well done. Like, I'm not a fan of Dolly Parton, but it's just kind of a neat place to walk around.
And it's air conditioned.
And it's air conditioned. You know, Dolly's tour bus. You get to go and walk around and check out Dolly's tour bus. And then if you need lady clothes and you're into her style, well, you've got the clothing shop here. So this is very much the Dolly corner of the park. Over here is the Celebrity Theater at Dollywood. This is the big theater, and it's gigantic. There are probably a couple thousand seats in there. And this shows, they tend to be shows that change often. And right now, it is a stunt dog experience. And for me, I'm a big animal guy. I love dogs. So seeing a show filled with puppies doing tricks, I was a big fan. I was nice, and it was air conditioned, and there were puppies. Thumbs up. One of the true classic Dollywood attractions here is Blazing Fury. It's awesome. It's mostly a dark ride. There's some roller coaster drops. It's very old, very country, and it's so much fun. This is a classic ride.
Odd.
It is definitely odd. There's some odd moments, some things that may or may not be super PC nowadays, but I love it. This is one of my favorite rides in the park. I probably put this in my top 3 favorite rides at Dollywood is Blazing Fury, just because I travel all over the place, and I've been on plenty of generic roller coasters. This is not generic. This is something very, very unique, very, very cool, and I like it quite a bit. And now I think one great area for expansion here at Dollywood is this area here. This used to be the old Timber Tower ride that was open and they had a lot of problems and closed down. And it's really just been kind of sitting here used for various things. Either it be a seating area, or right now it's a stage show that's done before the fireworks. And it's kind of just a big area that they could really use for, because it's interesting, like the fountain still works, the ride control booth is still over there. They still have the queue, and when they built this, I mean, if you look at it, the theming level and the infrastructure they put in is really, really good and pretty. What I would love to see here is one of those like 400-foot star flyers. Go way up in the air, get an amazing view of the Smokey Mountains. That's what I've always wanted to see in this spot. Well, I'm curious from you guys watching here, what do you want to see in this spot? If you were Dollywood, what would you build right here? Now, I'll walk a little bit more because I'll show you like how the queue is still there and everything. And again, a lot of the theming from the ride is still there too. So this is something that, you know, obviously not going to bring back the Timber Tower, since it's been gone for 7 or 8 years and never worked. But it seems like a clear spot to build a new flat ride. And that, whether it be a drop tower or star flyer, that is like clearly, that's even like probably where the sign was. That was a sign for Dippin' Dots. But over here, you can see, right here, is essentially a queue that goes nowhere. So that's the old Timber Tower queue. And I mean, even the theme level, look at the running stream and all this stuff. So really, good spot to keep expansion. So one fun thing here at Dollywood is that they have tons and tons of photo ops all over the place, including some morbid ones, like here's Molly standing in a coffin. Continuing my series of putting Molly in the silly photo ops here at Dollywood, here's her on a bench next to a giant tree. This one goes down as the most adorable of all the photo ops. There's Molly and a bunch of baby birds. And she's going down an elevator. I'm not really sure what's going on there. All right, now we're over here, and Molly's really starting to get sick of these things. Here's this one. Here we go, more food. This time it's the Dog House, the best hot dogs in Smokies. But the really weird thing here, look at the menu, guys. Look at the menu. It's just one type of hot dog, plain hot dog. A little odd. Oh yeah, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without a creepy statue. Here, Mr. Hot Dog. Merchandise is something that's pretty strong here at Dollywood. We're by Fire Chaser Express now, and they've got all sorts of ride-specific merchandise for adults to silly hats for kids. And me being a big nerd, I'm probably going to buy this t-shirt here, which actually is very similar to the one I'm wearing today. Actually, let me zoom out. See? A similar idea, just from a different park. So I'll probably pick that up today. I won't pick up the silly hat, but good stuff here. Molly liked this and wanted me to put this on camera. Little kids wet play area here by Fire Chaser Express. I like the geysers. The geysers are neat. Kind of randomly spurting up. There is no shortage of misting fans and stuff here at Dollywood. Normally airbrush t-shirts would not be something that I'd be that interested in, but look at this terribly creepy t-shirt of Christopher Walken's face. It's fantastic. That might be the most bizarre souvenir I've ever seen at a theme park. Another very, very unique thing I had to point out on camera. They don't have a picture of it, but they saw a smoked bologna sandwich. How gross does that sound? We're now entering Craftsman's Valley, which I feel is really the heart and soul of Dollywood. This is where you have all the different craftsmen displaying their stuff. You know, blacksmiths, candle makers, all sorts of things, and it's very neat. And you've got a great water feature that starts right here and then runs through the entire section of the park. You can see it going there, and it goes on for a couple of 100 yards. And really pretty. Not a lot of rides in this area of the park, but just a very, very nice section. Now, Dollywood doesn't really have a whole lot of zoo elements, but what they do have is this giant aviary here for bald eagles. And really kind of neat, fits in very much again with the Smokey Mountain kind of theme. And they actually have a lot. Most times you see bald eagles, there's only like one or two, as my camera likes to zoom in on the fence and not the majestic birds. But they also do a bird show as well, featuring birds of prey kind of stuff. So we're in Craftsman's Valley here at the candle store. That gets you to do cool stuff like dip your own color. What I want to show you is check out these ice cream sundae looking candles. They're amazing.
Okay, we need a damn
cool
thing
looking.
to wipe this out.
A very unique souvenir. Awesome stuff here.
Again? I wiped that.
So, weird stuff. This might top the list here at Dollywood. I don't exactly know what this is. It is a piano that is squirting water out of its keys. If someone in the comments could explain to me what this is supposed to be, go for it, because I'm kind of lost. Also, we were talking about Craftsman's Valley. Here's another shot of the big water trestle that continues through the whole thing. Gives you an idea of how long this thing goes. Also, the wonderful creek that runs through this side of the park. So we're here in Craftsman's Valley, and another store that's super fun is this one. And it's got all sorts of stuff from Dollywood branded barbecue sauce you get to try. This is amazing. This Dollywood Hickory smoked barbecue sauce, awesome. They got lots of samples in here too, things like moonshine, jelly, and raspberry syrup, and just all sorts of really fun stuff. Hot sauce. It's a really fun store to go into, and you might find something you really like. So the ride is not open, but the hot sauce is. Yeah, they actually have like ride flavored hot sauce. You got the lightning rod hot sauce, and over here you have the Fire Chaser Express hot sauce. Molly, give it a whirl. Be careful, I squirted this all over my fingers earlier.
Not bad.
Not bad?
A little bit of a bite.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Does it taste like unopened $20 million through rides?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. This one tastes like. That one has a bite.
It's weird. You would think that the Fire Chaser, the family-friendly roller coaster, would not have the bite, and the Lightning Rod would have the bite, but it's the other way around?
Other way around.
Interesting.
Oh, my mouth is on fire.
Look at all these hot sauces they have in here. Holy cow. Oh, look at this. Bacon hot sauce. Molly probably wants the soda.
I do. That's really hot.
Now, the most famous food item here at Dollywood is the cinnamon bread made fresh daily here at the grist mill, and it is amazing. It's their signature chef snack, so like it's Dollywood's version of like a Dole Whip or a butterbeer as that must-see thing that you must get. And they got lots of other cool stuff here, but the go-to, it's right there, is the cinnamon bread. Kind of does taste like a Cinnabon kind of thing. And if you get the cinnamon bread, you have to get the dipping sauce. You got to do it. Also, something I haven't tried before, but look at how good looking this cookie witch is. That's good looking cookie witch. And guys, just some parts of the park here are just really, really pretty. You know, that's one thing this park has going for it. There's a lot of very pretty sections. Like this, you know, it's very relaxing with the big water trestle and the water wheel. It's just cool. More cool sections of the park over here, like this pathway features just a random cave that gets you from one section of the park to the other. So we're now here by the premier flat ride in all of Dollywood, and that is the Barnstormer, an SMS big swing into a giant barn. And these rides, if you haven't been on before, they are super, super fun. You get some great views, you get some awesome airtime. I mean, come on, how fun is that one? So as with a lot of the areas, there's a little playground here next to the big more thrill rides, so you got something for the kids to do. And this one's got a really neat detail. Molly's going to show up her drumming skills. Molly, what are you going to play? Are you going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb or Old MacDonald Had a Farm?
Mary Had a Little Lamb?
All right, because you match the colors.
I don't know what blue is. Where's blue? This one?
Molly has forgotten which one's the color. Blue. Barely. I thought you went moonshine tasting yesterday. There we go. It's like redneck Guitar Hero here at Dollywood. Another very cool little section of Dollywood here. You got a really cool suspended bridge. You could buy some food and feed the fish. Just another cool, relaxing part of the park. Even stuff like this is really cool. You know, it's a cooler, but it's in a boat. And again, some nice fountains behind it. So Dollywood might hold the record for the biggest candy store in any theme park that I've ever seen. and it's just expansive. It's one of the things you see right when you go in the park. Oh, they don't have anything going on now, but they do have candy making demonstrations in here, and it just keeps going. I think Molly loved the big gumdrop tree here, but here's this. It very much is that dream-inducing candy store. You think that's it? No, it just keeps going into more sweets and more sweets. Here we got fudge and rock candy and brittle. If there's one type of candy I absolutely despise, it's brittle.
You know what I'm going to use for Christmas?
Ah, if it's brittle, you might get dumped. Yeah, so just an impressive candy store. Yep. Very large, lots of candy, which is, that's a pretty dumb way of saying this. Look at the candy store, there's lots of candy. But it does look very, very tasty. And more. Wow. Moving on here. I think we switch over from candy to ice cream over here in the end. And I think it's cool too. You're watching people making the candy. And yeah, over here on the end it becomes an ice cream parlor. So if you like ice cream, over here. If you feel like you're one of those weirdos that like brittle, go over there. Here we are in the bakery where you get more delicious food. Check some of this stuff out. Oh my cupcakes. And of course these famous giant apple pie, 25 pounds. Yeah, that's very, very big. Molly likes the cinnamon rolls.
They smell good.
They smell good. So we're here in line for the giant pizzas, and I've never seen this before, but the Busy Beaver Industrial Cheese. Molly, go ahead and hit the button. So this is doing something.
Well, hey, you got my wallet.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know if this works or not.
You know what's that, Julian?
I'm going to say no.
Yes, I'm going with that. That is not actually a thing. But anyway, here at the pizza booth, I can't really get a good shot without waiting in line, but they're here for the famous giant pizzas they serve here. You know, they've got the 1 pound pizza slice for the 12-pound pie. So if you want a pizza that's well bigger than the size of your face, come on in here to Lumberjack Pizza. Or if you want to look at a toothpick making theming machine that doesn't quite work, Lumberjack Pizza's your place. In case you were curious which bathrooms these are, they're the Mystery Mine restrooms. Something here at Dollywood that I have absolutely no interest at all in seeing is the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame and Museum. Haven't been in there? Probably won't.